Absalom, the third son of King David, played a tragic role in attempting to seize the throne from his own father, as narrated in 2 Samuel 18. His leadership in a rebellion against David culminated in a fatal battle in the forest of Ephraim, where Absalom met his tragic end. Known for his remarkable appearance and intense ambition, Absalom's fate was sealed from the incident described in 2 Samuel 13. In this episode, his sister Tamar fell victim to a terrible act of violence by his half-brother Amnon. Consumed by a desire for revenge, Absalom devised a bold plan, starting with the murder of Amnon, unfolding into a cunning rebellion against his own father, David. Undoubtedly, the longing for power, intertwined with revenge and ambition, clouded Absalom's judgment, leading to a terrible outcome. Want to unravel the details of this intriguing biblical story? Join us as we explore the events that led Absalom to his tragic fate. Absalom was the brother of Tamar, a very beautiful woman. Tamar's beauty caught the attention of Amnon, her half-brother on her father's side. Amnon became obsessed with Tamar, who was a virgin at the time. Advised by Jonadab, Amnon carried out a plan to possess Tamar, 2 Samuel 13 verses 1-5. Amnon followed Jonadab's advice and violated Tamar. Afterward, he expelled her from his house, making his behavior even more detestable, 2 Samuel 13 verses 8-17. In this context, Tamar found refuge in Absalom's house. At the time of the incident, David was very angry about what his firstborn son Amnon had done, 2 Samuel 13 verse 21. But after 2 years, Absalom planned to avenge Tamar for what Amnon had done. At a certain point, Absalom ordered his servants to kill Amnon, 2 Samuel 13 verses 28 and 29. This entire story deeply disturbed David, 2 Samuel 13 verses 31-36. Absalom ended up fleeing to Geshur, the land of his maternal grandfather. He stayed there for 3 years, but over time, David began to miss Absalom, 2 Samuel 13 verses 37-39. Through Joab, David eventually allowed Absalom to return to Jerusalem. However, for 2 years, David did not see Absalom. After this time, Absalom ordered his servants to set fire to one of Joab's properties to force him to ask David to receive him. His plan succeeded, and he was welcomed by the king, 2 Samuel 14 verses 28-33. After regaining David's favor, Absalom plotted against him. Absalom worked to gain the trust of the Israelites gradually, significantly increasing his supporters. During this time, Absalom claimed that he needed to go to Hebron to fulfill a vow to the Lord. All of this was part of his plan, and the conspiracy against David's throne gained strength. As a result, Absalom sent messengers to the tribes of Israel to announce that he already reigned in Hebron. Additionally, Absalom sought the advice of Ahithophel, who was David's counselor, 2 Samuel 15 verses 1-12. Faced with Absalom's revolt, David had to flee from Jerusalem. The priest Zadok and the Levites tried to take the Ark of the Covenant with them, but David ordered the Ark to be taken back to the city. At that moment, David showed great trust in God. He believed that if it was the Lord's will, one day God's kindness would allow him to see the Ark in its rightful place, 2 Samuel 15 verses 24 and 25. While fleeing from Absalom, David wrote Psalm 3, which focuses on trusting God in adversity. In the context of Absalom's rebellion, another part of Nathan's prophecy was fulfilled. Advised by Ahithophel, Absalom defiled David's concubines in a tent on the rooftop in the sight of all Israel, 2 Samuel 16 verse 22. This abominable act before God also made clear Absalom's claim to the throne of Israel. With the help of Hushai, who stayed in Jerusalem at David's request, and the commanders Joab, Abishai, and Ittai, David's army managed to defeat Absalom's army. David personally did not go into battle but ordered his captains to deal gently with the young rebel Absalom, 2 Samuel 18 verse 5. However, when Absalom was pursued by David's men, his long hair became entangled in the branches of an oak tree, and he became trapped by his head. A man who saw what happened to Absalom quickly informed Joab about it. Joab then went against David's order and thrust 3 darts into Absalom's heart. Afterward, the men carrying Joab's weapons also struck Absalom and killed him. Absalom's body was buried in a large pit in the forest. The Bible states that David deeply mourned Absalom's death, 2 Samuel 18 verses 19-33. The narrative warns us of the dangers of excessive ambition and the lust for power. This behavior led Absalom to disgrace and cost him his life as he attempted to usurp his father's throne and rule Israel tyrannically. Here, we can clearly learn about the dangers of envy, hatred, and unforgiveness. Envy is a destructive, malevolent, and petty feeling unfortunately present in human relationships. Therefore, let us strive to look to Jesus. The Word of God says in Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 30, "A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones." Envy is a strong and evil feeling, where a person desires to possess what belongs to others. It is a selfish feeling on the part of the person.